Hey, what's up to our listeners? And welcome back to another episode of the AIP podcast. I'm Anche, your host, CEO of Supercharged Lab. On behalf of the AI Partnerships Core, today we are superbly honored to have a really special guest from ScriptString.AI, who's an expert in the sustainability field. And this area of focus is something which is extremely close to my heart. So I am hoping that all of you will join me in giving a warm welcome to Katie Sutter. She is a sustainability expert representing ScriptString AI. And Katie has been at the forefront of communicating the power of AI in helping companies elevate their sustainability and impact reporting. Working directly with ScriptString's CEO, she brings a wealth of experience in crafting compelling narratives through white papers, blog posts, social media, marketing, and educating the ScriptString network and its customers on the transformative potential of sustainability and sustainability compliance. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into the world of ScriptString AI. So, let's. I hope all of you can join me on this extremely important subject as we navigate the intricate landscape of sustainability and all things sustainability. Katie, welcome to the show. Tell
Thank you
us
for
all
having me.
about you and your backstory.
Awesome. Yeah. So I started being interested in kind of this world when I was young. I had a love for nature, which drove me to do my bachelor's in sustainability and political science, kind of because I saw that there was a need for regulation in this space. When I was going through school, it wasn't quite there yet, but I wanted to be armed with the knowledge on kind of both sides, the political as well as the actual sustainability, what it means, and everything like that. And then from there, I took some time off from working and traveled a bit to volunteer for sustainability initiatives around the world. One of them was picking plastic from the oceans in Norway, which really helped me to see how big the issues are at hand and have that hands on experience with it. And then I've been working in communications for nonprofits as well as some corporate organizations. And that led me to ScriptString, where I work in communications there, trying to kind of tell the story of sustainability in businesses and how we can help make it a lot easier on businesses so that they can focus on that change that ultimately needs to happen.
That's exceptional. And sustainability is really a growing field, right? So the thing is that it seems to be driven by passion more so than profit. And so there's always this dilemma for executives who are trying to figure out sustainability because it's all about, oh, I want to do good, but can I do well as well? So what would you say to an executive toying with the idea of sustainability but really on the fence as to where to start?
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that we see a lot these days. A lot of companies kind of toying on the edge of it, not knowing if they can still be profitable while focusing on this space. But the reality is that the challenges that we're facing today, and then we're going to be facing even more in the future, both on the environmental side and the social side, they need companies to bring this idea of sustainability into their work. And it doesn't just mean that you have a sustainability team that focuses on a couple things. It really needs to be ingrained in your business plan. And you need to have that kind of sustainability mindset when you're looking at things. So to a CEO, I'd really say that good for you for wanting to kind of jump into it. There's a lot of resources out there, and there's a lot of people with expertise in this area that are willing to help companies make that transition. So finding someone, whether it's within your company that has that knowledge that you didn't know about before, or outsourcing it, and really starting by digging into what it means and trying to find those ways that you can make your business more sustainable. And it doesn't mean letting go of those profits either. It is extremely profitable these days to move towards being more sustainable. And that's what a lot of people are discovering, that it is a lot more of like a risk management idea rather than saving the world. But of course, people want to save the world for good, but it can be good for business too.
Absolutely. Tell us more about the work you do with ScriptString. It looks like it's square in the space of ESG compliance. And so you're really removing the pain of embarking on a sustainability journey, right?
Yeah, so with ScriptString, we are focused mostly on the data aspect of it. So within the sustainability space, there's a lot of movement going around, and I'm sure you've heard of a lot of regulations that are coming into play. And a lot of companies don't know how to handle it, and then when they start being able to get to that spot where they know what they have to do, how they're going to do it, the biggest challenge they're facing is that data, because sustainability is so cross departmental. That data can lie everywhere, from your utility bills that you need to be able to capture to different project management platforms that you use. So what ScriptString does is that they gather that data kind of from everywhere that you need it, get it together, make sure that it's high quality, and then it's in your hands for whatever you need to do, whether that's reporting to certain initiatives, which we can help with, and we're fully aware of the different regulations going around by different states, different provinces, in different continents as well. And then as well, it helps you drill down into what that data actually means when you have it in front of you, whether that's looking at it from a broad scale of your executives want a dashboard of how you're performing, or from if you're a factory, being able to drill down into each piece of equipment. ScriptString can help you do that so that you can find the areas that you need to improve on, instead of just spending hours and days and months in spreadsheets trying to just get that data ready to report rather than actually doing anything beneficial with it.
Mm, that's amazing. And we talked a little bit about the regulatory landscape with ESG and sustainability. Um, I think it's important that we educate our audiences about the regulatory requirements. So maybe we can talk about these regulatory efforts and legislation that people should at least be aware of.
And so it's a very tricky space. There's so much going on. It's constantly changing. New regulations are coming in. Some regulations are being encompassed by other regulations. I actually did my FSA, which is the Fundamentals of Sustainability Accounting, the first one. And it kind of looked at that broad scale of regulations too. And what differs is a lot. It depends on where you are located. So if you're in Europe, CSRD is really big right now, and people are going to have to start reporting to it. But also, some companies in North America are going to, if they do business in Europe. As well, there's a lot of voluntary ones still going on, which, for example, the SDGs, you might know as like the big global goals for sustainability. A lot of companies, while they don't report that for a regulatory commitment, a lot of them choose to include them in the reports on showing their impact on a larger scale. So really, there is a lot. The course that I did kind of compares it to financial regulations back in the day before they came to be what they are today. So we're kind of in that space of everything's still getting aligned. Things are switching up a lot. So you have to be on top of it, and understand what your peers are doing in your industry, kind of what you would want to follow and report alongside them, because investors might be looking for those regulations, even if they're not um, necessary by any means, if they are voluntary. But really doing that scan every once in a while, being on top of what's coming out, and from there speaking with experts in this space, because they know the best kind of what's going on, what would fit best for you, and everything like that.
Absolutely. And you know, I think one of the reasons why, at least it's a perception, that ESG compliance is becoming a hurdle more than a help to organizations fully embracing ESG and sustainability. What's your opinion on that?
I think it can be a hurdle, but I do also think that it's a necessary hurdle. Businesses really need to kind of start moving on this stuff, and at the bare minimum, tracking these sorts of things to see how they're performing. And regulations are really putting the pressure on that and making businesses move in the right direction, which obviously can be very daunting for a company that hasn't really paid attention to this space. But for a company that, say, has been putting out sustainability reports and doing this voluntary for years, it is obviously a lot easier as they have that data, they know how they're getting it and everything like that. And it's just changing things around to fit the regulations that are coming into play. So, yeah, I acknowledge that it is a hurdle, but I think it's one that A needs to happen, and B, there's a lot of technology, people, resources to help businesses along with that transition.
Great. One for the road, if you don't mind, what are some resources that we can access to get us started on our sustainability journey?
Yeah. So there are different online free trainings. I know that there's one by IBM that I've been playing around with a little bit. There's also a lot of different certificates depending on the industry. For example, people in real estate a lot have the LEED certification, which is around green buildings and kind of where that space is going. There's also sustainability accounting certifications, like the FSA one that I am currently looking to do the second part of. So there's a lot out there as well. A lot of, if you're looking to educate your full workforce, a lot of different consultants have different trainings that they can do to really broaden the knowing of sustainability within your organization, which I definitely think is crucial. There's not really a single department that will be untouched by this kind of 10 years down the line. It's really an all hands on deck kind of approach to things, in every aspect of a business will have to change a little bit if you want to make yourself more sustainable.
Absolutely. Well, Katie, that's all the time we have for us today. But it was an absolute pleasure discussing this very, very important subject with you today. So, once again, thank you to all our listeners following us on social media. And please do like and share our stories and our episodes as we go along on this journey with our AIP affiliates. We appreciate all our listeners and for their time and support. And once again, my name is Anne from Supercharged Lab. I'm your host for the AIP podcast, and I'm signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.